Alright, so at some point or another, I figured I would, from the time that I first saw the Deadpool Chimichanga truck as a Funko Pop, I figured that in some form or another I would eventually have it. I will tell you, I was not expecting that I would like the Dorbz ride, just because I'm not as into the Dorbz ride, but I really like the detail taken on this one. His apron says, "Kiss the Merc," which just is funny as picturing Deadpool. Not only is it a play on...
Sorry if he's out of the shot. He does actually have a chimichanga in his hand, too.
Ah.
I don't know if you can see it. There it is.
Yep. So, anyways, the detail on this is just hilariously funny. That they took that much detail in doing it. Now, for those of you who have opened the Dorbz rides, we're curious... are they disconnectable from the car?
It looks like it.
That's the one thing that we've been trying to figure out. It looks like you could just pull them out. But I don't know if they glue them in or something weird like that. But anyways.
Here's what the top of the box looks like. I like the Dorbz rides. I think the box detail on them is a lot better. And to be honest, a lot of them, it's like, okay, well, I got the regular... pop, why do I want another pop in the ride? If they made the ride separate where you could just put your pop in or whatever, that would be cool. But you know, hey, that's just my opinion. Here's the back of the truck, all the detail.
Yep. It's very detailed. It is probably my favorite ride, next to maybe getting the Batman 66 Batmobile. But
there's the detail on the front.
Yeah. So anyways, this is my favorite ride, and I am a big Deadpool fan, for those that don't know. Alright, so this is our Dorbz Batman. Batman? Anyways,
Man of Bats.
Man of Bats, yes. So we'll start from the left with the blue one. He is very detailed. He is a take on what I would figure is the 70s or 80s Batman. We've seen the suit redone. The last time we saw this suit, I believe, was when Tim Drake donned it in Battle for the Cowl. This was a lot of what was used, I think, off and on into the 90s even, but it was mostly 70s, I think. This is probably what he would have been wearing during Jason Todd's time. A lot of, if I have my Batman history correct. Now, the funny thing to note is, when I asked my wife, or when I told my wife what Batmans I like, she purposely got me two Batmans. The reason for this, the first two, is because the one that we just showed you looks like Bruce Wayne, and the second one in is reminiscent of Dick Grayson's Batman, with just the bat symbol and the black suit and stuff. That is the outfit that Dick Grayson wore as Batman, although it is also Bruce Wayne's outfit too. It's just that is funny that it's the one that Dick chose when he became Batman. So we purposely got that to kind of be like a Bruce and Dick Grayson set as Batman Incorporated kind of reference. But also because I just do like Batman, and the designs are both really cool.
I'm going to point out on this Batman and the last one previous, the blue Batman we showed, the box actually is Batgirl's box insides. You can see the spots for the hair, so it's funny that they use the same inside box for Batgirl and Batman. I noticed that online when I was shopping for them, and I was curious, and that is where the hair goes on Batgirl.
Yep. Now, funny thing to note on both of these, they are from the same set, as you can see. Funny thing to note on them is on the bottom, these two say that they're made by a company or a part of Funko Pop called Vinyl Sugar. They do have the Funko logo on them, but it seems to be a subsidiary of Funko Pop.
I think that's at first, or... my guess would be that at first they made these series and then took over the company or absorbed the company, kind of like DC did with Vertigo and Wildstorm Comics.
Yep. And our last Batman is the Walgreens exclusive, I hope I get this right, Professor Plutonium Batman. This is not to be confused with the various colors of Batman that he wore also in the 50s.
Well, this glows in the dark, so it's the Radium Batman.
Radium Batman, that's it. Radion, yeah. So this is not to be confused with the green Batman that's colored.
Which they also have in Dorbz version.
Which they also have in Dorbz. This is a different storyline where he wore a glowing green suit, and I believe he was radioactive for a brief time. The 50s had some very odd storylines.
He's actually not on the box because he's number 300. So on the box it got Zebra, Rainbow, Joker. I don't know what the orange one was called.
I'm not sure either. I thought that was... That one I'm not sure about either. I think that...
It reminds me of the heat suit he has in the Lego games.
Might be what it is then, because he had that heat suit.
And then the Zorn Arc Batman.
Yep.
So he sort of goes along with that set, but he's not on the box.
Yep. Okay, so we did a little bit of research between this one and the last one, and it does appear that Vinyl Sugar was the previous company that made Dorbz, and it looks like they were either a subsidiary of Funko or they were bought out by Funko. Either way, the Funko brand name got put on these. These are not fake or anything. They're just the earliest version of Dorbz were by a brand called Vinyl Sugar. So, anyways, this is Tim Drake, Robin. For those of you who are unsure or don't know your Robins, he can mostly be identified by his belt design and his R.
The R. The stylized R.
Yep. And, of course, if he's got... it's hard to see in this box, but usually Tim Drake can be shown by long leggings, too.
He's got green legs in there.
Yep.
Somewhere.
Rather than short shorts. A lot of detail. They put the Dick Grayson curls that Tim Drake also had briefly, off and on in the 90s. And they... you can see his cape. There's a better view of him. The Dorbz, they like to make them all smile. So I just find that kind of funny.
It creeps people out when you smile, especially if you're Batman. I think he's done that a time or two with Joker.
And then Robin's cape is even black on the outside and yellow on the inside, which is a nice little detail.
Again, it comes from the same set the Batmans do.
Am I the only one that feels like these remind me of the old Fisher-Price toys?
Yeah, they do a little bit. I think that's why they kind of took off a little bit.
Yeah. That's not why we like them, but they are funny to look at. It's just I was thinking they remind me of Fisher-Price Little People. Or Little Tykes, whatever they were.
I think they were little people when we were kids, and now they're little tykes.
Yeah. So anyways.
Little people, little tykes.
Yep.
Oops.
So this is an odd one. I am a fan of TwoFace. Like I told you previously in our video with the rare Funko Pop TwoFace. Before we got the Funko Pop TwoFace, in an effort to kind of at least give me a TwoFace until we could find that one, DigiFoxCat got me this as part of a Christmas gift along with the blue and the black Batman that you just saw and the Tim Drake. This is also where we give a shout out, thank you to the Hans for the green Batman. We forgot to mention in the previous one. They gave it to us as a gift. They found it at a yard sale. So that was really cool. When you find stuff like that, we haven't gotten that lucky yet. Anyways, this is a Walmart exclusive. As far as we know, maybe you guys can help us if we're wrong on this one. As far as we know, this is the only Batman the Animated Series Dorbz that they have. We have the whole first wave of the Animated Series Funko Pops and about 3 of the second wave. We've shown those in previous videos.
Yep.
This is ironically the only version of the Animated Series TwoFace that has been made on the market.
So far, we don't know if they're doing more animated series.
Yeah, we're hoping that they'll make him in the Funko Pops, although I'm just glad to have the Funko Pop TwoFace. But he along with Riddler are definitely villains I would love to see them do in Funko Pop version of this stylized. Of this style. We have the regular style and the 66 for Riddler and the regular Riddler too.
Well, they can make the 66 TwoFace now. It's just from the animated movie.
True. They haven't done any of those yet. And he'd be the one that they could do. So anyways, this is really cool. I just like the style of it. It's interesting to note that they added a lot of detail. You can't see it really through here, but there's actual lines etched into the purple side of the face. Although it's lots green-blue.
Green-blue.
But it's...
Purple on the other one. I like this TwoFace a lot better.
Yeah, I like his design. He really captures the animated series TwoFace. And you can even see his hair on the back. There's more of a line in his hair where they've actually done different hair on his two sides versus on the front where the face is kind of just more of a straight line. You can't tell as much except in the hair.
I don't know if is it in the actual pop?
What?
Yeah, he actually has his coin in the right side hand. I noticed it on the box art, but he actually has a little coin in there.
They did that, and I thought that was a really cool detail. And the Funko Pop Two-Face also is holding his coin.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a really good detail for Two-Face.
Alright, so this is the Walmart exclusive that we actually found. Walgreens. The last one was Walmart. They're both start with W. You can't fault me for that.
No.
Anyways, this is the actual Walgreens exclusive we found actually at a Walgreens in our area. He is SpiderHam, aka Spider Pig, aka homage to the Simpsons movie. If you want to know, he is actually in the comics. If you want to know, he came out and he was a parody in a What If story or a Thor story. I'm not sure which, when he first came out, where Loki turned all of the Avengers into animals. And he ended up as Pig. That's where you get the froggy Thor.
Then he showed up in the Ultimate Spider-Man.
He showed up in the
when Spider-Man got transformed into the pig.
Yeah, in the cartoon. In the cartoon. And then in the comics, he was a part of the Spider-Verse saga.
Yep, and I think he made a cameo as a Spider-Verse character in the series too, but I can't remember.
I believe so.
But yeah, I was just surprised to find this actually at a Walgreens. Because our Walgreens is notorious for not having this kind of stuff.
He's got a lot of detail. I love how the nose actually looks like the spider signal.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Lots of detail, even detail on the back, and this is what they got on the box. So you've got the one of the first line, which was Marvel of the Dorbz. I don't know if the Dorbz are all same number or not. So there's the SpiderHam. Okay, so this was one of our Toys R Us finds from our latest ventures out to Toys R Us and their closing sales. This is Toys R Us exclusive Dorbz Teen Titans Go Raven in her white form. We have the Hot Topic Pop version of this, which is
super valuable in the pop form. And so now, because Toys R Us is going out of business, this one may gain a whole bunch of value too.
Yeah. The box is a little torn up and beat up, but I didn't even realize they had this one because I'm used to seeing the other colors. I think you can find orange or red more often. But these are harder to find, period. So, for those who don't know, Raven, when she's in her white mode, she is kind of a pure mode or at peace with all of her emotions, etc., etc. So, lots of detail. Here's a better look at what she looks like.
Now, it is interesting to note with the Dorbz that even when it's a variation of color, they usually seem to put it on in the variation on the actual box, which is different from...
Yep. And there's the main Teen Titans set.
Is she the same number? 222?
Yes. She is the same number. I think the Cyborg that's the Toys R Us exclusive is metallic versus the regular one, which is more duller colors. But I'm not positive since I haven't seen too many of the Teen Titans Go Dorbz regular.
Yeah, and we're not big fans of Cyborg as a character.
No.
Speaking of which, for those who don't know, it has been announced, and the Beast Boys voice actor seems to be Greg Sipes seems to be verifying it. It looks like, for those of, I don't want to state it as fact at this point because it has not been confirmed, but it really looks like Teen Titans, the original series, is coming back because Go has been experiencing a drop of viewership, and apparently when
the Teen Titans reruns are experiencing a high number of viewership.
And have moved from a late night spot to a prime time spot.
Yeah, they went from early morning to midday to late evening to now they're at like a prime time spot, which would be about 5:30 to 8 p.m. if memory serves me correct,
Yep.
time slots.
And for those of us who watched the series end with that whole Terra storyline and the ending kind of left you kind of wondering, it did not feel like the series was completed.
No. Okay, so since we had Cat in the Hat, what goes with Cat in the Hat?
Thing 1 and Thing 2.
That's right. We had to get the themes. This is the only version of the themes that I know of.
They did a rare Funko Pop release of them, but again, they're like very hard to find and super valuable.
Yeah. So they have a Dorbz. This is the Barnes and Noble exclusive. I can talk, honestly. Not very well, apparently, but I can talk. So they are flocked. We just thought the Dorbz, especially having the pop version of the Cat in the Hat, the Dorbz just fit better because they're supposed to be shorter than the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
And they're just adorable. I don't know if you can say that for Dorbz, but there's more. I like on the 2-packs that on the side picture here, it's whatever one corresponds with this one. So this is thing 1. So on the side of the box here, it's got thing 1. And on this side, it's got thing 2. So that's very nice. A lot of detail on the hair, too. So here is the Dorbz of thing 1 and thing 2 to kind of complete our Dr. Seuss box. They do make SpiderHam, Cat in the Hat, Horton, and I think the Lorax is the other Dorbz they have.
Yeah. Those are the other ones they make. I was actually trying to look up a picture of the original Funko Pop release, but I will say this. Most fans are figuring that the Thing 1 and Thing 2 Dorbz are better, so the version of the Thing 1 and Thing 2 that were released as Funko Pops were seen, like most people, were seen as very odd looking, but I think they were also very special edition ones too, which is why I'm not able to find pictures of the originals, but I'm sure if they exist, if you find one, send me a link just so I can see what it looks like.
Yeah. Okay, this is another 2-pack we have of the Dorbz. This is the Green Arrow Spring Convention exclusives from 2017. I've only seen this one other place when we were at Frankenstein's, and for some reason, some people think when they have a sticker like that, they can jack up and put at least $20 on the ticket price right off the bat for some reason. So I was going to pay like $75 for this set. We found it at Venture of Toys R Us when we picked up our first Dorbz ride, which you saw earlier in the video. So these are Black Canary and Green Arrow from the comic books. So we now own the pop version of Green Arrow and now a Dorbz version.
Yep. And as far as we know, this is the only version of Black Canary in the comics that they've put out.